Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here today. I'm back with another review. Finally, after having almost nothing to review last week, I'm back, baby. So today we are talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Before I continue, however, I do have to say that this video's footage is not mine. It belongs to Cosmo Variety Hour. He's a really great guy, gives really good reviews. I advise you go check him out. His link will obviously be in the description below, so go check out Cosmo Variety Hour. I will be taking the footage from his video for my purposes. So yeah. Anyways, today we're talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and this is the second MCU show on Disney Plus, and I thought I might as well give my thoughts on it, and I thought it was pretty good, not great, not amazing, but really good. I'll give it that. So I guess if I have to talk about it, I think it's better if I go episode by episode. The show is only 6 episodes long, so I think it's best if I go episode by episode, so I give my overall thoughts on it. But before we talk about it, I just need to talk about my thoughts on this show before it came out. I do remember before it came out, I was like, oh no, they're making a Falcon and the Winter Soldier show. Why didn't they even call it Captain America? Isn't Falcon the new Captain America? I mean, obviously after watching the show, I understand. Oh, that's why they called it Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But still, yeah. And I also remember that when they said Sam was gonna be the main character, I was like, ew, no. In fact, in my head, I was like, oh, I can't wait to see adventures with Bucky and Sam. I can't wait to see Bucky be the new Captain America. Imagine Bucky be doing this and that. Like you could tell, I was way more into Bucky than I was Sam. I remember I just did not feel like Sam deserved the title of Captain America. And that's just not me hating on him personally. It's just from the movies, from the MCU movies we got, there really was no character for Sam. We didn't get anything on his character. There was nothing for me to be attracted to him the same way I was attracted to Iron Man or Steve Rogers or people like that. For Sam, I was just he's okay. I was definitely more into Bucky, and it's not even because that Sam is black, because hello, look at me, look at me, look at me. No, I don't want to. It's so ugly. Oh. But yeah, so I wasn't excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I was more excited for things like Wandavision, Doctor Strange 2, because at least those were weird. So, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I was like, it's okay, it's fine, I guess. I probably wouldn't watch it. And then I even remember when the first trailer came out, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm still not interested. Oh my goodness, the world is different now. Things are changing. Well, doing that whole shtick, oh wow, this isn't cliche at all. But now that I've watched the show, I might as well just talk about it in the good and the stuff I liked in it. For one, let's start with episode 1, I guess. Episode 1, this is a really good intro. I really like this episode and how it sets up the show. This is definitely one hell of a pilot. I will be making comparisons to this show and Wandavision, which I know isn't entirely fair, because tonally and structurally, these shows are completely different. Even if they're in the same universe, they are not the same thing at all. They are completely different. So it doesn't seem fair for me to compare this show to WandaVision, but I feel I have to a certain extent. So this one, I do feel its pilot episode was way better than WandaVision. I like how Sam sort of shares the mentality of a lot of fans, where where he doesn't feel he deserves to be Captain America. There should no longer be a Captain America. Captain America should no longer be a thing. Now that the OG Captain America has died, it shouldn't be a mantle that passes on to the next person after the next person. And Bucky was having his weird nightmares, and so and so that's crazy. It's also weird that for the show named Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the two main characters don't even meet up in this episode. They obviously they know each other, but they don't officially team up until the next episode. So that was very weird, a very weird thing I noted. But I do like Sam's character. I like how we get to see his family. At the very least, we get a base for what his character is supposed to be about. So I really like it. That's also really the thing I like about this show, is that it understands how the fans feel. It sort of got into the fans' head, because all the fans were thinking Sam doesn't deserve to be the Winter Soldier, Bucky should. And that's kind of the theme throughout the show. Bucky honestly even feels that he should be Captain America, that he should be the one wielding the shield, not Sam. And so I really like that. I do feel that's great. Episode 2 is where I think that's the one where we get the new Captain America, John Walker. and his best buddy. I cannot bother to remember his best buddy's name. And I really like the whole concept of John Walker, a corrupt Captain America, about how Steve was such a unique man. Steve was the perfect, and I also like how this show tackles on race. I'll get that in a second. But like how Steve was the perfect white man for America, you know, buff, blonde, super soldier, wearing the shield, all that. He's the golden boy of America. And so I like the fact that like America was essentially so desperate for a new Steve Rogers that they got John Walker, who is like the opposite of Steve. He's corrupt. He's more in it for the glory than he is about actually helping people. And we get to see him go down this downward spiral. He was one of the people who envision John becoming a villain, or at the very least like a third party antagonist. But I'm honestly like kind of surprised that they didn't go that direction with it. Like obviously he was jealous of Sam becoming the new Captain America, but I like how they sort of like gave himself a redemption or made him more of a hero towards the end. I'll talk about that in a bit. The third episode is probably my least favorite because it's probably the most forgettable episode of the show. This is the Power Broker one where they go to like Madripoor. Really, the only things I liked in this episode was the fact that Baron Zemo was dancing. That was hilarious. And not really much. Not really a lot happened in this episode, I can say. Obviously, they know that super soldiers have been made. Sharon comes back. Sharon Carter. That's the niece of Captain America's girlfriend, if I'm not wrong. So we got to see her come back. But overall, I didn't really enjoy that episode too much. The fourth one I really liked. This is where like all parties sort of come together as well. John and his buddy, what's his name, Sam and Bucky, and even the Flag Smashers, they all group up and like they have this big fight, and then we get to see John like go over the edge at the end of the episode. Really like that, and I really like how the fifth episode really delved into that. I really love the fight between Bucky, Sam, and John. It was really awesome. And the fifth episode is definitely probably my favorite of the show so far. We even get to see the black super soldier, the guy who was there after Steve. He fought Bucky in the past, which is crazy. Just kind of shows how old Bucky is. And afterwards, we even get episode 6. This is the finale. We get to see Sam's new suit, the Captain America suit from the comics, sort of like mixing with the Falcon suit. I love the speech he gives to like the senators and such, and then I really do like the ending, though it does kind of leave a few things and like sort of not like unfinished, but more like open-ended, I should say. So might as well talk about them. So the finale definitely left a few things like unclear to me. Like the people who died in the car, the Flag Smashers, did they die of their own accord? Was that policeman actually working for them so they don't have to go to jail? Like were they so desperate to not go to jail? Or was Zemo the guy who hired his butler to hire these guys to kill those guys? I don't understand how that ending worked. What are we gonna do with Sharon now? Will she be the new villain? Is she gonna be the power broker? What's up with John Walker? Like now that we know he's US agent, will he become a villain? Like, will his rivalry with Sam continue? Will they have another fight down the line? Or has he become full hero and joined Sam? I highly doubt he's become a full hero and joined Sam. I do think he'll be more of a rival. The question is, will the show make him a rival in bad guy terms or a rival in good guy terms? Like, he's always trying to steal Sam's thunder. And the last thing that obviously raises a lot of things, is there going to be a season 2? I honestly don't know if there's going to be a season 2 or not, because obviously Disney hasn't announced a season 2 and they haven't like let out anything suggesting there will be a season 2. But I'm hoping there is one, because I feel like a lot of things in this show are sort of left unwrapped. Like not all plot holes and not all plot lines have been, wrapped up with a nice bow on top, which I get. It's fine to leave things open-ended, but I feel like there's definitely more than they're letting on. So I don't know if Disney is planning to do a season 2 or if they're planning to move the story of Falcon and the Winter Soldier into the movies. Like they're gonna make it part of the MCU now. I honestly don't know that. But I do definitely think that this series was too short. 6 episodes felt too little to me. I wish they had kept it a bit longer, sort of like how Wandavision had their 9 episodes, but that's just me. So now I guess I have to talk about the characters themselves. Let's start off with Sam, the main character. I really do like Sam's character in this show. It really did feel like it was his show, and I felt like at the end of it he definitely earned the title of Captain America, and that was the biggest problem this show had to tackle. The show had to somehow convince us that Sam was indeed worthy of being the new Captain America. And I do feel, they sort of did it right. They did him justice, and I am excited for Sam to be the new Captain America and like to see where his story will go after this. This definitely doesn't feel like a show that's meant to carry on through the ages. Like it's meant to have a season 1, 2, 3, and such. It's definitely meant to be a filler story in between movies. Like, so give us what Sam's shtick was between the MCU movies. This was definitely meant to be sort of like a filler show, because as we know, at the end of Endgame, he becomes Captain America. But does he really hold up that mantle? The show kind of answers that question, and then obviously the next time we see Sam in the MCU, he will be Captain America. So I do feel like this show is meant to tie in what happens between now and later on. It's sort of like if the Clone Wars was actually released in between episode 2 and 3 instead of after episode 3, if you know what I'm saying. Like, they definitely do have plans for Sam. Anyways, I really like his character. I also really like how this show tackles the concept of race, and it's actually a message that's not beaten down our throats. Mind you, this is Disney we're talking about. Disney is that company who will definitely shove it in your face if they have to. They're not as bad as Netflix, I don't think, but they are definitely on like on that level. And so I'm surprised as to how well this show handled the concept of race and such, where like they would never let a black soldier be Captain America, and no self-respecting black man would. We get that from Isaiah Bradley. I also really like about how Isaiah's story is told, and we even get to see his statue at the end. I really do like, again, how they talked about our race and such, and how it is difficult for a black man to be like in America or like in a white man's world where he has to like prove himself and such. Really like the messaging, and I really like how it's not just pushed in our faces. Obviously, when they need to bring it front and center, they will, but it doesn't overstay its welcome. I also really like how they talk about the snap, sort of the snap that was in Infinity War and erased half the population for 5 years. Like, this is actually treated like a thing that happened in real life. This is something that affected everyone. And obviously, that makes sense. This was something huge, catastrophic. It affected the entire world, and we need to see how the world reacted to that. And I like how this show represents it as an actual thing that happened. Like, they treat the snap as if it's actually World War II. Like, it's so real in this show. Yeah, people disappeared. Yeah, banks are suffering because of this. Yeah, people are suffering because they're finding someone new living in their home. Also, those new people are jerks. People are gone for 5 years, and you're like, oh, well, this home is mine. And so that would have to lead me to talk about the Flag Smashers. Before I talk about the Flag Smashers, I guess I gotta talk about the secondary character, Bucky. Bucky is, how should I say, he feels more like a sidekick in this show. Even if the title has, you know, the title of the show, he's in half the title, like his name is literally half the title of the show. He really doesn't do much in this season. Yeah, he goes to a bit of therapy. Yeah, we get to understand where his conflict is, but he really doesn't seem to do much, or at the very least do as much as Sam does. I really wish we got to see more of Bucky. I understand why the show didn't want to, because again, a lot of people were hoping Bucky got the shield. I personally am one of those people who hoped Bucky would become the new Captain America. So I understand why his screen time will have to be less than Sam. So at the very least, we feel like Sam is one who earns the shield. But I don't know. I feel like Bucky should definitely got more screen time. I do love the camaraderie between him and Sam. The way their friendship actually feels so organic, and all the screen time they actually do share together does feel really real. Like, these guys have been friends for a while. I just wish we got to see more of Bucky alone. I like his story. I like the conflict he has with the old man, but that seems to be like most of what we get with Bucky alone. I wish we got at least some more therapy sessions with him. Is what I think would have made the show better. Another thing I would like to mention is the action in this show. I wouldn't say the action is the best thing ever. It's just karate stuff. Obviously, no one in this show has powers aside from Bucky, so it obviously makes sense that you can't really go full laser beams or just go wonky with the powers. But I do wish the action scenes could have been a bit better. But I like how this show can stand on its own without the action scenes. The action scenes feel more like an add-on rather than a requirement, if you get what I'm saying. Like, the action scenes feel more like a nice bonus than they do like a must-have for this show to be. So I really like that. I guess I have to talk about the other characters now. We have the leader of the Flag Smashers, Carly Morgenthau. Carly's character is, I would say, good. I like her motivations, though I don't feel, even though we got her backstory, I don't feel like the show made me care enough about her, or at the very least care enough about her cause. And the way she goes about doing things half the time doesn't seem to make sense. Like, she's like, oh, I didn't mean to kill your friend. Oh, you didn't matter to me. Your cause didn't matter to this thing. And even then, she even like goes straight up to John in the finale, and she's like, yo, I didn't care about your friend. His life didn't matter today. He's like, you don't think my friend's life mattered? Yeah, no, Carly, what the hell are you doing? And so yeah, I understand her cause, and I actually like the effect she has on the world around her rather than about her as a character. I like the fact that she has people who sort of enjoy her more, like they would keep her safe. Like these people would literally defy governments to save Carly. Like I really like her effects on the world rather than her as a character, and even her death at the end, I just really didn't care for it. Where she's like shot and then she dies in Sam's arms, and she's like, "I'm sorry," and I'm like, "Oh God, you seriously doing this?" I really did not like Carly's death. It was so by the books, and you know the way the MCU is and the way the show is treating her, like she's this new villain. Like we gotta care about her. Like we gotta care so much about her. And her death is so tragic. Like she's this tragic hero, this fallen person who deserves our sympathy. I'm like, no, I really didn't care about her death. I really liked her final confrontation with Falcon, where she is breaking down and she's like, fight me, fight back, fight back. I really need to like punch something right now. I liked that. But when she died, I was like, oh God, seriously, she's gonna have to die a martyr in this case? No. So Carly as a villain, I would say she worked as a villain. I also really like this one episode where she goes to Sam's sister, or at the very least calls Sam's sister, and she's like, yo, tell your brother to meet me. And then Sam is like, yo, you crossed the line. This is like, we're not bringing family into this. Family stays at work. And she's like, okay, fair enough. You know, I'm not gonna bring family into this. I don't want to hurt your sister. Like I could care less about your family, of course. Like I'm the villain, you're the hero. We only get personal on the field. We do not get that personal with family. I really like that. So as a villain, I think she was fine. I do think she was good as a villain, and she had a good she had a good cause. I just feel like the show shouldn't have tried to make us feel so sympathetic towards her. Like her cause and such, I feel like the show shouldn't have been trying so hard to make its audience care for her, when really, like, I really didn't care for her that much. So her as a character, I really didn't care for it, but I did like her as a villain. So I guess there's that. Zemo was good in this show. I like how the show uses him well. He doesn't overstay his welcome. Again, I just love the scene of the bar where he's dancing like I love the mobster thing he's got going on. Though it's weird that he like puts on his mask for a bit and then he gets rid of it. I'm like, okay, sure. So yeah, Zemo doesn't really do much, though I really do like how the show uses him. It's not like he's gone big villain out for revenge. I do remember a lot of people had a lot of theories on like what Zemo is gonna be like, because I remember the Zemo from Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the show I watched as a kid. He was like this big bad Captain America's arch nemesis. It wasn't the Red Skull. Red Skull was like in Avengers Assemble. So like in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, it was like Captain America's big bad. He wore like a leopard cloak with a sword and such. And I thought the show was gonna go in that direction, but they didn't. So I guess it's that. Sharon does come back. I didn't really care for Sharon too much from the Captain America trilogy. I also really didn't care for the Captain America trilogy as a whole. I only really liked Civil War, but I don't really care about the other two movies. So yeah. Anyway, Sharon comes back and her character was fine. The big reveal at the end that she's the power broker, I was like, really? Really? You're gonna reveal Sharon as the power broker? She was working with Carly all along. Oh wow, who could have seen this coming? I really didn't care about her being a villain. Really, I honestly was just like so bored with Sharon being like this twist reveal villain, and the fact that she's gonna be the villain, possibly the villain in the next show or movie. I could care so less for it. I really don't care about Sharon. I like Falcon's sister. I like the interaction she has with her brother. I feel like I'm just trying to think of all the characters in this show. I think I've named all of them. So yeah, I do like most of the characters' growth in this show. I like Falcon's growth, Bucky's growth. These guys actually take the therapy that's given to them, unlike Wanda, who has gone to great limits to avoid therapy. So in this case, at least Sam and Bucky at least face their problems, and they're like, yo, we cannot fight our problems, we have to face them head on. So I like that. I like the world we're in, a post-snap world, and they're treating it like it is a real thing. I also like the flag smashers and how they are, again, with the snap, like how, like, imagine with how people coming back and the flag smashers are like, no, we should be one world, one people, all that great stuff. And yeah, so overall, Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's a pretty good show. I do recommend you watch it, though. Is it worth like the week-long wait? No. But since now the show is out, you can binge watch it. There's no problem with that. Oh, right. I guess I gotta talk about John Walker. I didn't really care for John that much. Again, I liked his character arc, and I like how instead of becoming the generic third-party villain or like the final boss after they defeat Carly, he's like, yo, Falcon, let's go. Whichever one of us wins becomes a new Captain America. I really could care less for that. So I like how he actually became sort of a hero, and I'm interested to see where he goes goes next? Will he become a hero? Will he become a villain? Anti-hero maybe? Or will he become just Falcon's rival? Also, Batroc the Leaper showed up in this show and he never once sleeps. How dare you, Falcon and the Winter Soldier? You bring back one of Marvel's most iconic villains and you don't even get him to leap. He doesn't even wear the classic suit. He wears it for one scene. Guys, come on, get it together. If you're gonna bring Batroc in, bring it properly. You can't do this to him. So yeah, overall, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I would give it a 7 out of 10. Not a great show, and also not spectacular or anything. I do wish Bucky got more scenes. I really like the fight scenes. I really like most of the characters in this show. However, some of the decisions they made a bit weird, and I really don't know where they're gonna go ahead with this, because it seems like there's not gonna be a season 2, but it will tie in with the MCU movie. So I don't know. Obviously, Disney Marvel has a plan. I don't know what that plan is, so I should stop trying to figure it out. As a show on its own, I like the character growth, and it's very much a character-driven show. This is very character-centric, and at the end of the day, I can feel glad knowing that Falcon has become Captain America, and I really dig the new suit. And I even like how the show at the end kind of changes the tag, because like at the beginning of the show, it's Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but then at the very last thing, it's Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So like the movie, hey, it's like the name of the movie, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. What do you know? So yeah. Anyways, guys, I've been Captain Phoenix. Tell me, what did you like about Falcon and Winter Soldier? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you admire about it? What did you hate about it? Leave it all down in the comments below. Be sure to like this video if you haven't already. No, I keep screwing this outro up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you liked it. Comment down below what you think. Click that bell to join the notification squad. I've been Captain Phoenix, and with that, I will see you in another universe.